guys, welcome back to First Hour Podcast. My name is Dennis and I'm here with
the champion.
Okay.
You're here with the champion, the Liverpool fan. The champion. Yeah.
Anyway, so how you doing, bro?
Shall I'm doing great. I mean, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Obviously.
Okay.
I mean, I'm at the top.
Mm-hmm.
I've won the EPL. And
you are not going to hear the list of it.
Oh yeah, of course, because it takes a lot to win the English Premier League.
Naturally.
And when you win, the interesting about the EPL is after you win the EPL, if you're not a team that won, you feel as though it's a normal thing, but it's actually a big deal.
We get it.
So I mean, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. First of all, let me say congratulations to Liverpool and yourself. I think you played a very wonderful season. You've been consistent, and I think you are deserved winners. So, congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Good game.
Yeah.
So let's assess the whole season and Slot coming in, Klopp leaving. There was a lot of emotions when he was leaving last season. By this time, everybody was sad. Where will Liverpool go from here? I mean, until you even mentioned Arne Slot, I don't think it's a name that I really knew much about in football. And nobody knew what to expect when he was coming in, because he was actually coming in to fill some very big shoes with whatever Klopp has achieved before he left. What will be your assessment on his first season?
Yeah, I think that he's done extremely well. One thing that he did that I really acknowledge was the fact that he came knowing the position that he was about to take.
Okay.
He acknowledged the good works the previous coach did.
Okay.
And he actually followed suit. He didn't change much.
Yeah.
He didn't change much the team, but what I realized he did was worked very well with his man management.
Okay.
He spoke to the boys individually and brought out the best in them. I can give a typical example like Gravenberg, who wasn't being frequently used.
Yeah.
And he was one of our instrumental players who helped the Liverpool team get to where it got to this particular season. And Slot, the only difference I realized is that the hard metal of football we were playing under Klopp wasn't repeated. In the beginning, I was very frustrated watching this game because you know that, this ball, Charlie Robertson just passed and let them run, but they'd rather hold it in the midfield. McAllister will pass the ball once or twice before they decide to move. It was an interesting season, but for me, I believe that he was more of a man of action and more than a talker.
Okay.
So we were not too used to such a soft person, but eventually I realized it was about the results.
Okay.
And he had a good relationship with all the players. Yeah, all the players. And I actually see him to be someone who actually was very instrumental in making sure that Van Dijk and Salah's contract was actually signed here.
Well, let's stick with the coach. Did you have that expectation? What expectation did you have when he was coming in?
I didn't expect to win the EPL.
Okay.
I didn't expect him to win as an EPL. I didn't expect him to settle in so quickly, because he actually did. And I was actually very worried about the relationship between him and the players, which was perfect. I didn't expect us to win the EPL, but I knew that we were going to run for the top 4 and whatnot.
So you would have been okay with top 4?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily because the time Klopp was leaving, at that particular point, the Liverpool team was quite down.
The project was done actually.
Yeah. And I believe that at that particular point, we're all wondering what is going to happen to us when this new coach comes in. Maybe we would have been okay in top 4, but at a certain point, we realized that no, it's something that we can actually go for.
Yeah.
And we actually went for it. So I think he's done very well. And he doesn't look like someone who is backing down anytime soon. It looks like he wants more.
Okay.
And I believe that. As human as he is, there might be some seasons that might not go particularly too well for him.
Okay.
But I think he's done very well today, and kudos to him.
Do you think it is more of his doing or his work that brought you here, or other things falling off, like City?
It's more of his work.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more of his work.
You think even if City was at their best, Liverpool would have still won?
Yeah, but then this discussion is quite awkward to me because if at every particular season, if somebody wins, we can always say that if this person was at their best, would this have happened? I believe that.
But City has shown some consistency that makes you find it very easy to use that assumption.
Yeah, but then of course, we don't come in the league all the time just looking at City, because at the end of the day, even if City falls off, there are other teams that can come up.
Okay.
And the other team that we discussed earlier on, Arsenal were there was the other team that were expecting that they'll give us a run for our money.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that personally, the coach and the team have done extremely well.
Yeah.
In as much as most of the teams have not had a good season, it could have been worse.
Yeah.
It could have been. We could have. I mean, we didn't take the top. The EPO that we've taken. It shouldn't be seen as it was an easy run for us. It wasn't an easy run.
Okay.
Because there were times that we struggled. There were times that we were drawing games, we were losing games that other teams could have won their games and would have fallen back.
Yeah.
You know, so I think for him, he's done very well. I think the players also played their role. But then without him, the players wouldn't have given up their best.
Okay.
So I think I'll give him the props.
Do you think this Liverpool win is being given the hype that it deserves, or is going under the radar? With the EPL, with the youth Champions League and all whatever is happening, it looks like Liverpool's win has gradually gone under the radar.
Yeah, you know, if you are very observant, any season that a team takes the league way ahead of time, you know, that's what happens.
Okay.
Because normally we wait like the last straw, the last, and then we get to know who the winner is.
Yeah.
But then the time at which we played our final game that actually showed that we're going to be the winners at the end of the season regardless.
Yeah.
It's what has affected it a bit. And like you're saying, it's true. After that, we've had a lot of very crucial games,
Yeah.
which has quite in a way overshadowed. But believe you me, if you're a Liverpool fan, it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, that's,
No, it doesn't.
okay.
It doesn't. But if you're a Liverpool fan, every day you wake up in the morning, you feel like a champion.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the key things that we've spoken about during the season was Van Dijk and Salah's contract extensions, and we all expected that it should have been done earlier so that it will actually ginger the team to go for the title. But I think you decided to do it the opposite way, whereby you decided to finish the season and then extend. Is that to mean that if they had not won the trophy, they would have not been extended?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. You know, earlier on, I know there were a lot of talks behind the scenes.
Okay.
I know a lot of business decisions had to be taken by the owners of the club. I know that a lot of interventions had to be done by the coach.
Yeah.
You know, and all these things came together. And of course, you know, we the fans are more of like sentiments. You know, this guy has been here.
Well, I feel the whole decision has been made based on sentiment, because I know Liverpool was looking at giving them a year, but now they basically bend their back and giving them 2 years each.
Yeah, that is an assumption.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think it's.
But that was the proposition that was given to them where Van Dijk rejected.
Exactly, but
Yeah.
I think that whatever happened was not out of malice. Whatever happened, I don't believe that they were not being grateful for the players that they were.
Okay.
But I think that several discussions had to go on for them to reach where they got into. I don't believe that if the decision didn't make business sense because of the fans, they would have just kept them and given them a 2-year contract. I don't believe that. Maybe you have a different perception.
Well, I mean, so you think that in the next 2 years, both Salah and Van Dijk can still produce the goods the way they have this season?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to tell because I believe you me, I didn't expect Salah to perform this season.
Yeah.
You know, after Klopp was leaving, even that last season, we didn't really see him that well.
Yeah, there was a wedge between him and Klopp.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was expecting Salah to lose form this particular season. But
Okay.
hey, there he is. He gave us all his best.
Yeah.
Van Dijk is a defender. You know, the defenders, for streams, as they grow, they become good at what they do. And for me, I think that even the presence of those guys in the team is enough to give these young guys motivation, whoever else comes into the team.
Okay.
So sometimes you look at the bigger picture before deciding to keep some of these players.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's come to Trent.
Yeah.
I've seen Liverpool fans who are calling him a traitor, who are expecting him to renew. This is a boy who has basically given more than 20 years of his life to the club. It's all he's known. And he feels it's time for him to try something else. And I mean, like Real Madrid always does, they pick and choose whoever because of the prestige that they come with. And for some reason, they've been able to convince him. Although probably you would have loved that he had a few years on so that you could make some money off him. Going as a free agent hurts a bit. So probably that's where the sentiments of the fans are coming from. What's your opinion?
In the beginning, when I heard series of information that Trent wanted to join Real Madrid,
Yeah.
I think even started somewhere last season. You know, I really didn't have a problem. Then later on, I gave it some deep thoughts, and I personally feel as though that he's he's taken quite of a hasty decision.
Really?
Yeah, personally.
Okay.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. You know, we've had instances of players feeling as though that they are at their peak. And when teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid come for them, they have no option but to go.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to be very critical of these decisions because you can go there, then you become a nobody. And one will say that, oh, but the money is there, you make the money and all that. But I don't think he's at the age where the only thing he should be thinking about is money. It's going to be very strange to think that, Trent is going to go to Real Madrid and not perform or not show up. One might think that is not possible. We had Hazard going there.
Yeah.
Nobody thought about that. I think that for him, you know, there are some teams that as a young guy, when you start playing with, you should actually try to dedicate most of your time to
Okay.
And loyalty is key when it comes to football.
Okay.
The timing
Is it anymore?
yeah, it is actually.
Okay.
And for me, the timing of his leaving is also quite wrong. It's quite wrong. And I don't know how Trent will feel when he should find himself at Real Madrid and things don't go as planned.
No, but I don't think you're being fair. You see, for a player, especially at that level, obviously once the team comes, they are going to sell equity to you.
Okay.
And the position that he's going to play is almost somewhat guaranteed because Cabal is almost being faded out.
Okay.
And with the players and the runners up top, if you look at Vinicius, Bellingham, Mbappe, it's like a dream targets for a Trent to pick up with the kind of passes and crosses he can pick up. And at his age, I think he has achieved almost everything he needs to achieve at Liverpool.
Okay.
And Real Madrid is at the stage where, let's say, they are rebuilding for the next stage of their whatever. Right now, the Benzema, the Ronaldos are gone, and they are now building a new Galáctico squad. And for a young guy who, I mean, every footballer dreams to play at Real Madrid, he has had an insight whereby Bellingham is in there, so he's been able to give him some details in there that makes him feel that if you are here, you will actually be able to achieve that dream. They are best friends, and I'm sure they've had a lot of conversations. And for him, this is all I've known in my football life. 20 years, to me, nothing spells more loyalty than that. So if for now, he believes that, okay, this is a team that also wins stuff, and I want to step up and go there and see what I can achieve and challenge myself, I don't think it's a hasty decision at all.
Well, I mean, that an opinion of a fan of the club will be quite totally different.
But that's where sentiments hit.
Yeah, but then I don't really have a big problem with that. Yes, but I'm just saying that I hope things go well for him.
Yeah.
But I will be very disappointed if he finds himself in Real Madrid. And of course, anytime anybody goes into a team like that, we always think of the positives.
Yeah.
But there will be negatives. So I'm just hoping that things go well for him. I mean, wherever Alexander finds himself, when I watch his game, I'll be a true supporter because the guy has done amazing, great things for his age.
Yeah.
The kind of assist that he's been able to give and the Liverpool team, the kind of performances that he's held within Liverpool and big clubs. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I always go back to the Liverpool-Barcelona game and the kind of corner kicks that he did. And he's a very intelligent young guy, and I wish him well, actually.
But then again, can you blame him? Because it's not like Slot has basically placed a lot of confidence in him. He's not guaranteed every game. I've seen him being benched and taken off at the first half and all kinds of things. So obviously, I don't know whether that was because at that time his head was turned, so he was probably not giving everything. I don't know. But for me, even if you're asking him to stay, I don't think there's any guarantee of a first team play for him here in Liverpool. So if I was him, I'll do an assessment, and they say that you've been here for a very long time, and it's probably time where people are not showing they are not giving you the props that you deserve because you are here. You may go somewhere else and you may become a new player simply because, first of all, you are now going to redefine your hunger. You are in a team of top stars, and now you feel like, okay, with these kind of players ahead of me, if in Liverpool my biggest target was Salah, and I have about 3 or 4 targets I can pick in Rodrigo, Bellingham, Mbappe, Vinicius, that probably takes my assist to another level.
So I'll say something. I don't know if you are aware that Alexander, I don't know whether he still is, but he was the deputy captain in the Liverpool.
I don't follow Liverpool that much.
So,
I don't intend to.
Yeah, so that's fine. So I'm gonna let you know that.
Okay.
So Alexander is very well recognized in the team.
So why was the coach benching him?
Yes, he was benching him because his performance was at a certain point was abysmal.
Okay.
And then at a certain point he also had an injury issue. Yeah. So you know and even before Klopp left, so the whole idea was that his attacking skills is very good. He can go for a pass ball.
Yeah.
But his defending skills are quite poor.
Okay.
So that is when we started allowing him to play a free role in the midfield area. So you realize even when Slot came in a couple of games, he allowed him to move in there.
Yeah.
But then it became a bit congested because we had so much in there. So he had to move back to his position where he was not doing so well at certain times.
So if I'm a player and I believe that this is my position, they are making a makeshift position for me because you don't believe that, or you believe that defensively I have a weakness. And another team is pitching me and saying you are actually the best in that position. We want you there. I mean, Kabaya has been a legend of the game.
I mean,
and we feel that if he is moving on, you'll be the best person in there, and we want you in. Of course, for a player, by the way, I'm at the place where after 20 years, my position is being judged now. With Bradley coming in, it looks like I'm not fully dependent on. And there's a team which is actually even bigger. And they're saying that, listen, we are building something new and you are key for this. And it's about how you make me feel needed. And I feel Liverpool Real Madrid sold him something that made him feel like he's key to what they're doing. Because they even tried to, they even sold him or tried to close the deal before the window ended. That just that they've told him and showed him that you are needed. So for me, nobody in world football will turn Real Madrid down, first of all. And secondly, for them to make you feel like you are not surplus to requirement, we need you to come and play a role. I mean, I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, these are the ideal situations, the situation that you have mentioned. Because any team will approach you, sell you a dream, sell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Then, of course, you sit down and think that, oh, I've been here and I'm getting a big opportunity there, so I would want to leave. That's fine. But I'm saying that I don't have a problem with that. I wish him well. I would have loved that he'd have continued with Liverpool.
Okay.
But of course, everybody lives this life to go. You know, so if Real Madrid has come, I'm just hoping that the dream that he has been sold, eventually when he goes there, that materializes.
It will materialize.
We are hoping that materializes.
It will materialize.
And anywhere he finds himself,
I profess and declare it will materialize.
I will support it.
It will materialize.
But then the point is that wherever Trent finds himself,
yes,
he
has a talent. Yeah,
he's still Liverpool at that.
But nobody's saying he's not.
Let me relax. I'm saying that wherever Trent finds himself, and he's playing football and he's performing, everybody should be looking at him and knowing that this is a Liverpool material. I mean, it goes without saying.
It's okay.
It goes without saying.
Now, whether Liverpool likes it or not, I mean, I've heard rumors that for this transfer, you're going to actually start to rebuild and actually bring in players that Slot now wants, and then sort of build the team to his recognition of what he wants. Which players do you think you are going to let go?
That's a tough one.
Oh,
I know that one. No, relax. Why are you attacking the young guy?
Oh, I'm not attacking.
Yeah.
I think for a very long time, Liverpool has never really spent that much money on anybody. I think he's the highest.
Yeah, I mean that
80 or 83 million.
It was about 80 something.
Exactly. And he's not shown half of the potential that you were expecting. So I'll be surprised.
That one is going.
Okay.
That one I don't think even anybody has thought that much.
Okay.
I wanted to start from the back. I have a feeling that someone like Robertson might not necessarily go.
Robertson and Trent in the same window.
Yeah.
That'll be a bit much.
Yeah, but we might need. I know currently we have the Greece guy who's playing his role every now and then. He comes on later on. think we've actually taken out all the.
Because the Semecas or whatever.
Yeah, Semecas, yeah. I think McAllister. I don't know if we would be needing him.
Do you think he will depend on Gravenberch or you bring in a proper DM?
I think you bring in a proper DM.
Okay.
I think Gravenberch showed up when he was needed the most. I think if you bring in a proper DM.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you bring in. I'm suspecting we can get about 2 DMs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that means you are failing as Gravenberch.
Not totally. You know, this particular season, Gravenberch showed up when we needed him to. But I think that the next season will be what Slot really wants to do, or the kind of shape he wants to put his team in.
Okay.
Yeah. So it might look like he might not be grateful for what other players did.
Yeah.
But to be fair to him, this is his time that he's going to set up the team to look like the Slot team that he wants.
Is that not a risk?
No, I don't think it's a risk.
Okay. You have a team that is working. They say, as the saying goes, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, but then again, if it's not broken and you don't fix it and it gets broken, you still be blamed.
Okay.
So I just think that things went well for him when he decided to choose the same team that he came to me. But I believe even a player like Jota, he's done amazingly well. But Jota had an injury this season, and since he came back, he has never been the same. You know, I feel as though that apart from the 2 DMs, need a top striker.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you let Darwin go, I think you free up space for that.
Yeah, we free up space. And for me, I'm not expecting Salah to be the Salah of the season next season. So being
well, if you help him, he could be. Meaning that he doesn't have to play every game.
Over relying on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be. And you know, the Salah is the kind of player that if you don't play him frequently, those players actually
fade away.
They fade away. So every time you need to have him on the pitch.
Well, he could play 60 minutes. He's what, 32?
Yeah, so it's almost 33 actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is it. But I think there'll be a lot of over. I know. I think we currently are looking at one of them. This Liverpool City player. I think he's a Ghanaian.
Is it? It's called. Is it Boateng?
Is it Boateng?
Jeremy Boateng.
Yeah. We're looking at that guy as well. So there'll be.
So he'll come and support Salah.
No, not. He's not. He's actually. He's not a winger.
Okay.
I think it's an attacking midfielder.
Okay. I've heard rumors of Barcelona trying to tempt Diaz.
Yeah. I don't think it worked. Yeah, because
I summer window has opened. What do you might work?
Yeah, but I know there was a discussion that went on behind the scenes. And, later on, I don't know whether it was his agent or whatever that came out to that it's not true.
Okay.
Maybe they're just playing mind games.
Okay.
When the window opens, maybe the truth will come out. But he's one of the key players of Liverpool. I don't think we should let go.
But that position, you have a very strong guys there. That's Gakpo and him.
Yeah.
So that one works. Striker, you may probably need to bring somebody in alongside Jota. You may need to bring somebody in to support Salah.
Yeah.
So that one is there. In the midfield, you have McAllister
and
Sabulai.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, is it Jones?
Jones, the young guy. Yeah. He's good.
Is he staying or going?
Jones?
Yes. He seems to be always playing second fiddle. You don't know whether the team relies on him or he's a squad player. What's his role?
Yeah, but the thing is that when he comes to the game, he actually turns things around.
Okay.
And Jones, these 2 guys, Jones and Elliott. Yeah, you see, these guys are guys that I don't think that other teams have really paid attention to them.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily taken them away from.
I know a lot of Premier League teams are targeting Elliott.
Yeah.
And he may also be looking at playing more football. So he may actually be tempted to go if another team can guarantee him more game time.
Yeah. But then Slot has a lot of work. You know, the last time I was telling you that it is this season that we're going to really see the kind of decisions he's going to make, the kind of players he's going to come in, and his ideology.
Yeah.
You know, because last season when he came in, he just came to tap into someone's ideology and he made a few tweaks. But this time,
this thing I said it.
Yeah.
That he's benefiting off the work of Klopp.
Yeah.
You told me no.
At the beginning of this even today's podcast, I've said a lot of these things.
Talking about today, we've had previous conversations where you were very adamant.
Calm down. Today I've told you.
So we should stick with today, not the past.
I'm telling you what I've been saying all the time.
No.
I
was telling you that even the squad, he benefited from the work of Klopp. He said, no, I can't say that.
Let me tell you what you're saying. You are saying that, and you said it in the past, and I said you are saying that Arne Slot did well or was able to get to where he has gotten today because of Klopp's squad that he came to meet.
Which is true.
No, it's not true. It's not true. Because we are telling that if Arteta comes to Liverpool and comes and meet the squad, he's going to perform.
Well, he will perform. Probably not win a trophy because that one is synonymous to him. But the point is that
as long guys who came help you, if this guy has come and has won a trophy. But I think that this is the time for me as a Liverpool fan. This is the time I want to see what Slot has up his sleeves. I want to see the kind of players he's going to go out for.
You say
we go at this season again.
For me, Liverpool have never been big spenders.
No.
And so I want him to be, he should actually measure his expectations and know that he can't do everything he wants we do. So he may have to look at the key positions, probably bring in like 4 players, sell like 4 or 5, and then probably go again in the January window. Because the way the team has performed, if he makes too much changes too quickly, it may come back to hurt him. Next season, he's not going to get it easy. City is going to come back. I can tell you that Arsenal is going to be there because we know they are going to be there. All the other teams are going to fix themselves. Again?
Chelsea will be there.
But it's not part of all the other teams.
No, how can you
Chelsea are the champions.
How can you mention
I know all the other teams are going to come back. I can't obviously list all 20 teams.
No,
the fact is that
you don't have to list all 20.
The fact is that all the teams that are in the top 4 or are fighting in the top 5 are going to try and be better.
Okay.
Because the competition is getting
just like every season.
No, I see this season has been a weird season.
Why?
I know a Liverpool fan will never admit
What
it.
has been weird about this?
The season has been weird because a lot of the teams fell off. For whatever reason, I don't know, but they did. Liverpool has been the only consistent team. Kudos to you. But my point is that he has a team that is working. He doesn't need to do too much. If you tell me that, okay, you want to bring in a natural DM to support them, I agree. If you tell me you want to bring in a striker, I agree. But with that said, I hear that you are linked with Mason Greenwood, formerly of Man United, who is doing great. He's now at Marseille.
Oh, he's at Marseille?
Yeah, that's what he's doing crazy there. It looks like you're linked with him. I don't know whether that's who you go for. Because he looks to be in the same shade as Nunes. I don't know whether when he comes he will be. But he was actually doing well in the Premier League before his exactly. So if he's looking at the key players, the player to come and support Salah, and then on the left you are okay, attacking midfielders, are you sticking with letting Elliott go, bringing in somebody else? Are you letting McAllister go, bringing someone, so that at least you freshen it up? But just leave it there for the next season. I think it's better than trying to face letting Robertson go. No. I think it's too drastic.
I think that sometimes when the transfer window opens, it becomes a bit. You can't determine what's going to happen. So
Liverpool always be a team that will sell before they buy.
Yeah. So there are some players that you might have as part of your plans, and other teams might come.
Yeah.
Like you already said, Liverpool is not a team that we are big spenders that we're going to have so much.
That have 200 million to sell, not just to spend.
So I know that it's just
going to be a measured control.
It's just some key areas that you might just actually concentrate on. Maybe do 1 or 2 changes. Aside that, I think we are good to go for next season.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, that is it on Liverpool. Share your own thoughts. Let us know what you think about Arne Slot's first season. How excited you are about Van Dijk and Salah extending their contract. Do you think the 2 years they can still deliver the goods? How emotional are you about Trent leaving? And do you think that, like my brother said, it was too premature, or you think that he has earned his dues to move on? Like and subscribe as usual, and we'll see you in the next episode.